this. I am so excited right now because this is literally a historic matchup between Bay College and Alpena Community College. So let's take a look at the two teams. The Alpena Community College team, known as the Lady Jacks, are coached by Lynn House. They went 4-8 last season, all of their wins happening on the road. At the end of last season, they lost to Mott Community College, and last season they weren't very strong offensively and plagued by reception errors. But the notable thing about this team is that last season was their blocking game was on point. They were second in the conference for solo blocks with 59 on the season. So this is a relatively young team made up of mostly freshmen. There's actually only 3 returning players for the Lady Jacks: Allie DeRocher, Kate Skiba, and Avery Zip. DeRocher led Alpena in kills last season with 89 kills. She also led the conference in solo blocks last season and was 5th for points per game. Skiba led the team in assists last season with Zip backing her up. So now that we kind of know who Alpena Community College is here, let's get to your Lady Norse team. Obviously, I wasn't able to pull any stats from last season since this team literally did not exist. But we got a lot to talk about here. Bay College put up a fight on the road so far this season, going 2-2. During that tournament in Illinois, they racked up 114 kills, 102 assists, and are currently sitting 5th overall for service aces in the MCCAA. So defensively, they're sitting 6th overall in digs as well, and 2nd in solo blocks. Kylie Tashish, sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied today. I'm learning all of these new names. Kylie Tadish, my apologies, the freshman middle hitter from Coleman, Wisconsin. She's leading the team in kills with 31 as of now. A notable thing here is that freshman Riley Johnson and Leah Allen aren't far behind in kills as well, so it's nice that Bay has a lot of attack options. Tadish also leads the team in total blocks, which is really good to have a player that can be so good offensively as well as defensively. Amber Kaler, hailing from the Wissahickon, Wisconsin area, is the setter for the Norse with 100 assists already. And considering the setter carries 100 of the 102 assists for the team, this tells me that Bay has a pretty controlled passing game and can get that ball where they really need it to go, which is so important to have those fundamentals down. Defensive specialist Alyssa Sandville from Gladstone is leading Bay in service aces right now with 9. Libero Tori Yount, she leads the team in digs with Leah Allen also being a force to be reckoned with defensively. So another thing to note on this roster is that there are 3 pairs of players who have played together before. Victoria Paquin, Tiana Taylor, they're hailing from Gwyn, Allie Roman and Alyssa Sandville from Gladstone, and representing my high school out in beautiful Eben Junction, Michigan, Riley Johnson and Emma Rudder. So you might also recognize the names Gracie Veroni from Bark River and Abigail Rexford on the roster for Bay. You might also recognize the head coach's name, Dan Porth, as an Escanaba native and Bay College graduate. He previously coached for University of Wisconsin Green Bay Marionette, and during this time, he led his team to championships 3 times. His team also won the Wisconsin Collegiate Conference in 2019 after winning runner-up the year before. We've got an exciting day of volleyball ahead of us, so stay tuned. We're going to take 3 minutes and then come back for the opening serve. Actually, no, we're going to take 3 minutes and go to the coach's interview that I did earlier today. So for Bay College Volleyball and the Radio Results Network, I'm Grace Harlow. Yeah, I got a little tongue-tied here, so it's okay, though. Also, when I wrote my notes, I didn't have my coach's interview, so that threw me off. Okay. Nate, how much time do I have in that interview? I mean, we're at 30 seconds before the game starts, so we're probably going to go into introductions. If you want to cut back to me, I'll do a quick little, we're about to get the game started, and then I'll send it to you if you want to play the player interviews and then just commercials till I jump back on headset. Okay. And we're back here at the Norse volleyball match. First one of the season, first home game ever in the history of the program. We're just getting our starting lineups here. We're going to get a couple of words from two of the players, Emma Rutter and Riley Johnson, that I talked to earlier today while they were getting ready for this match. And then we'll be back for the first serve of the game. You're listening to the Radio Results Network. Okay, Nate, if you want to bring me back here pretty soon as you can. Welcome back, Norse fans. We are about to get underway here. We've got our starting lineups. Starting for Alpena Community College, we've got number 2, Allie DeRocher. Number 3, Brianne McClure. Number 5, Autumn Vermilia. Number 6, Kate Skiba. Number 7, Allie Erleb. And number 8, Avery Zip. And headed over to the Bay College Norse players. We've got number 1, Leah Allen. Number 2, Riley Johnson. Number 5, Emma Rudder. Number 7, Tori Yont. Number 10, Amber Kaler. And number 12, Kaylee Todish. Alpena is going to serve this one first. Vermilia up to serve for Alpena Community College. She puts the ball up and over. And that is going to go over to the north side. They return it with a hit. Up, set, and a setter dump from number 10, Amber Kaler. A nice block there by the Norse ladies. And Alyssa Sandville goes diving for it, but you can't quite get underneath it. The first point on the board is going to go to Alpena Community College. Lady Jacks serve this one over. It's a little short. Number 7, Tori Yont gets underneath it, though. They return it over to Alpena. Alpena tries to hit it on the right side, and that is going to get just past Sandville. Point, Alpena Community College. Sandville passes it over. Lady Jacks set this one up. They try to go for a middle hit, but they're blocked by Rudder and Todish at the net. A nice hit from the middle from Alpena, and the Bay girls get underneath it, but they can't quite get it to where they need to go. It falls right at the post. We are now sitting at 3-0 Alpena. Yont passes it. It's set up by the Norse. And we're going to get a violation on the Lady Norse. That point is going to go to Alpena. 4-0, Alpena Community College. Alpena serves. Allen gets underneath it. She passes it forward. It goes over by a pass from Yont. And we're going to get a violation this time on Alpena's side, a double hit as they had tried to return it. First point on the board for Bay College. We are now sitting at 4-1, Bay trailing by 3. Amber Kaler is up to serve. She sends this one deep into Alpena territory. They set it up for a right side hit. It comes down the line, and Kaler is there. Set up by the Lady Norse. Bump, set, spike. That is how you do it. Beautiful hit there. Kaler up to serve again. Just tips the top of the net and just falls over lightly, but Alpena is able to get underneath that one. We've got a nice hit by Rudder. Alpena sets this one up from the right side. It's long. Allen reaches for it, can't quite control it, and it keeps going past her and hits the back wall. Alpena's going to get this one back. Score is now 5-2. Alpena leading. Skiba serves this one right into the net. Side out, Bay College. make a couple substitutions here. It looks like number 14 is coming into the fray. Abigail Rexford for Bay College. She's going to be up to serve. Sends this one up, and away. Alpena gets underneath it and tries to shoot it into the back corner, but Bay College is there, and a beautiful look by Leah Allen as she just tips that one over. But the refs are going to call that one out of bounds and award it to Alpena. Score is 6-3 Alpena. DeRocher is going to serve for Alpena. She sends this one over. And nice little tip there by Tiana Taylor. Alpena returned that one, and then there was a violation called on Bay College, a double hit. Score is now 7-3 Alpena. Ball is up and over. Rexford gets underneath it. Nice pass there by Rexford. And Alpena tries to hit on the right side, but they are blocked by a very solid block between Taylor and Tadish. Alpena returns that one. Bay tries to get underneath it, but they can't quite do it. Score is now 8-3 Alpena Community College. DeRocher sends this one way long, and that is going to go way outside. Good call there. Good look by Bay College as they let that one fly past. Tori Yant is going to be up to serve now. She sends this one off onto the right side. Alpena sets us up for a right side hit and blocked by Riley Johnson. She got all of that and then some. That was a solid block, textbook right there. The stands are going nuts. The bench is going crazy. Yant to serve. She sends it to Alpena. They kind of shank it off to the side, manage to bump it over somehow. And here comes Leah Allen. She hits it. She gets blocked. Good effort by Yant trying to get that one up. Players all over the place trying to get underneath it. They did a good job, but they couldn't get it done in 3. 9-5, Alpena Community College to serve. This serve just ticks the top of the net, makes everybody a little bit nervous. And Bay College sets it up, but it hits the top of the ribbon and they can't get it over. Score is now 10-5 Alpena. Alpena serves this one deep. Rexford gets underneath it, sends it to Kaler. Kaler to Riley Johnson. Johnson just shoots that one over. Alpena returns. And we're going to try a right side, left side hit here from Tiana Taylor. Yant gets underneath it as it's returned again by Alpena. They send it back. Alpena pops it up and just tips it right over the top of that block. Riley Johnson is going to try to tip that one over herself. And they're going to call a double hit on Alpena on that return. So the point is going to go to Bay. We're now sitting at 10-6, making a few substitutions on Bay's side. We've got Alyssa Sandville up to serve. Sandville sends this one deep, and Alpena sends it close to the net, rolls off the net, but they managed to get that one over. Kaler is going to set it up for Johnson. And that is going to be out of bounds, a little bit long, little too much power. Brianne McClure to serve for Alpena. She has a jump serve into the net. Side out Bay College, score is 11-7. Leah Allen up to serve for Bay College. She waits on the refs. Top ref gives her the signal. She sends this one over to the right side. Alpena tries to do a weak side hit here. Back row hit from Allen. It's good, but not quite enough. And we're going to get a violation on Alpena, another double hit. The refs aren't letting anything slide here. Allen to serve, And Allen gets an ace. First ace for Bay College on their home court. The stands are going nuts. They have these little inflatable clackers. It's getting loud up in here. We've got a mascot in attendance. Alpena receives the serve from Bay College, and they just send it long. They tried to hit that corner, and they couldn't quite do it. We're getting a timeout here as both teams head off the court. I'm sure right now the girls are a little tired but very excited. They're making a little bit of a comeback here. The score is now 11-10 with Bay only trailing by 1 point. They were down by a few, but they have clawed their way back up, and they are neck and neck with Alpena Community College here in the first home game of the season, the brand new season. So far, we've seen some good things. I'm really happy with how quick these players are on their feet. Very, very quick. Good transitions. They're struggling a little bit with the ball handling at the moment, but they've been reining it back in. We've seen some really nice things from Johnson. Just made a couple of really smart plays. We're also seeing some good things from the mascot right now as he's moonwalking while we wait for the teams to walk back towards the court here. Girls are getting back into position. A few handshakes here and there. A couple high fives. Allen is standing at the back, getting ready to serve here for Bay College. Score is 11-10, Alpena Community College. The top official blows the whistle, and we are underway. Allen sends this jump serve long, and that is recovered by the libero on Alpena Community College's side. We got a nice strong hit from Vermilia, and that is going to do it. We are tied up 11-11. The crowd is electric right now. I'm getting fist bumps here. Allen is going to serve this one deep, recovered by McClure. They send it over real quick. Kaler to Johnson, and Alpena gets underneath it. They try to shoot it into the back corner, and that is going to be a point for Bay College as it's just out of bounds. Nice try by Alpena, but not close enough. We are now seeing a lead here by Bay College, 12-11. Allen sends this one over. We're going to get a weak side hit from Alpena, and we're going to get quite an effort from Allen as she goes diving for it. The ball goes right up into the rafters, bounces around a few times, and lands off into the crowd. We're now tied 12-all. Alpena to serve. That serve goes way long and lands just on the back line. That was a tough call there. Now 13-12, Alpena. Alpena serves this one, and it just grazes off the arms of Alyssa Sandville here. Krentz serves one more time. This time Bay gets underneath it, sends it real close to the net, and Kaler tries to just do a neat little back set over, but doesn't quite get enough oomph. Score is now 15-12 Alpena. Nice solid serve from Alpena. That's going to be an ace for them. 16-12 Alpena. Coach is giving the Bay girls a little bit of instruction. They make some adjustments, and they manage to get underneath it. The refs, though, are going to call a double hit on Johnson. Coach is contesting that call right now. And Kaler's going to walk over to the top official and ask some questions. But the referee's decision stands. We're now sitting at 17-12 with Alpena to serve. Kaler to Johnson, who gets blocked. And there wasn't a whole lot she could do on that one. That one came back into her face. Coach takes the timeout right now. Good call by Coach. It's always good when the other team's starting to rally to try to break that up a little bit. Right now we're sitting at 18-12 with Alpena Community College leading. They're having a little bit of a conversation over in the Bay College bench here. I'm sure Coach is trying to rally the girls up. Like, for a new team, this might be a little bit frustrating to be down by 6 points, but it's not too late. They already made one comeback. I'm sure they can do it again. And they're already done with their huddle. They have made it back to the court. We're still waiting on Alpena Community College. They're going to break and head back towards the court. Morgan Krentz to serve. 18-12, Alpena Community College leading. Bay College down by 6. And we're waiting on the refs. And here we go. Krentz serves this one. Goes straight to Allen. Allen pumps it up nice and heads it over. Alpena's going to smack that one down. It bounces off of the fingertips of Yant and goes out of bounds. 19-12, Alpena. Krentz bounces the ball a few times, serves this one right into the net. We've seen quite a few service errors on the Alpena side. Side out, Bay College. Johnson's going to take a seat. Number 11, Victoria Paquin, is going to come in. Paquin stands on the far right side. Sends this one very deep, but inbounds. Alpena tries to hit it. And they set up a nice left side hit, right side hit, but they were called double hit on that. So that point is going to be awarded. And now Paquin is doing something interesting. She's switching sides for her serve. That's not something you see a whole lot. It was a nice serve over, but Alpena returned with a shoot right into the back corner where no Bay College players could get to. Paquin's going to take a seat. Alpena Community College to serve. Score is 20-14, Alpena in the lead. Kaler to Tadish, and that is just what they needed. Point Bay College. Score is now 20-15. Kaler to serve. Kaler sneaks this one over the top of the net. Bay gives it a back, Alpena gives it a back set. And Cretin tried to get that one over. She bounced it off the top of the ribbon and it went nowhere. Point Bay College. Score is 20-16. Kaler sends this one over. Alpena tries to hit it over and hits it right into the net. 20-17. Kaler still serving. Kaler on a roll. Kaler sends this one to the back of Alpena territory. And we're going to get a net violation on Bay. So that is going to go back to Alpena. Score is 21-17. Alpena sends this one deep into Bay territory. And we've got an attack by Tadish, but she couldn't quite get it done. Blocked right back at her. 22-17 Alpena in set one. Alpena sends this one over. Nice look by Allen as she gets underneath it. A shoot from Taylor gets right through the block. The force on that. She just gave it everything she had, and it ripped through that block like it was nothing. 22-18 Alpena. Rexford up to serve. Powerful serve over. Alpena sends it too close to the net. Allen is there and just tips it right back down. Alpena's not able to recover. 22-19. Alpena leading. Rexford to serve. Rexford sends this one into the top of the net. Side out Alpena. 23-19. Alpena to serve. DeRocher getting ready to serve here. She sends this one long. Yount gets underneath it. Kaler back sets. And they're going to try to return it on Alpena's side. They manage to, but get called on a double hit here. 23-20. Bay's trailing by 3. Yount to serve. Yount sends this one over. The libero for Alpena gets underneath it. Back set by Alpena to the middle. They get it over. And Kaler sends it over. It gets returned by Alpena. Yount sends it to Kaler. Nice try on the right side. And Alpena can't recover that one. They tried to set it over in a little setter dump, and it went dumped right into the net. Yount sends this serve long, but it's inbounds. Alpena returns it on the right-hand side. Yount is there, and Allen is going to hit it. Beautiful angle by Allen on that hit. And Alpena tries to return with a right side hit. It's blocked by Johnson. And Bay set it a little too close to the net on that one. And Alpena was able to take advantage of that. 24-21, set point for Alpena. We're going to take a timeout here for both teams. Right now, this isn't the position that Bay College wanted to be in. But we've seen it already. They were able to come back several points. So it's not over yet, folks. 24-21, Alpena Community College leading. We've seen a few service errors from Alpena. We've seen a couple ball handling errors on the side of Bay. We've seen quite a few calls from the referees. They're making sure this is a very tight game of volleyball. And Bay is having their own little conversation here on the court, away from the rest of the team, away from coach. Coach is calling them back over. You don't often see that, having the team having a conversation on the court by themselves. The girls are making their way back to the court. Alpena breaks from their huddle and makes their way back to the court. Ali Erlab to serve for Alpena. Score is 24-21, set point Alpena. This is a solid serve over. Rexford gets underneath it to Kaler. Kaler to Johnson, and that is going to be it. Maybe the refs are having a disagreement here. And that point is going to be awarded to Bay. The game is not over yet. Johnson hit that one, and it did land slightly out of bounds, but it grazed one of the Alpena players on its way, and that is going to be a kill for Johnson. Alyssa Sandville to serve for Bay. She sends this one right into the middle, and that is an ace! An ace for Sandville right when Bay needed it most. The score is 24-23. The energy in this building right now is giving me chills. Sandville up to serve. She sends this one long along the side. Alpena sets this one up in a back serve on the weak side. It tips off the edge of the block from Allen, and that is going to be the first set. Alpena 25-23. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we will be back for the Radio Results Network. That was good. Welcome back, Bay College fans. We are here at Bay College for the first ever home game for Bay Volleyball. Alpena took the first set in the match, but we still have 2 more sets to go at least. We saw a lot of good things from Bay College. We saw some really good serving. We saw some really good blocks, and some of those kills, oh my goodness. We've seen quite a few errors. Oh, thank you. I just got some stats handed to me. We've seen quite a few errors by Alpena's serving department. There's been a few ball handling errors. We've seen a lot of infractions, particularly double hits. So we'll see how this second set goes. We're almost ready. We're checking rotations right now. Coach Porath is talking to Tori Yant right now. Girls are looking in good spirits. We've got quite a crowd here right now. They've been a great crowd, very loud, very electric. Just getting some things situated here. And we are ready to play some volleyball. Amber Kaler's up first to serve in this second set. She sends this one over. Alpena recovers it off the net, off a shoulder. Yant gets underneath it to Kaler, to the middle there for Tadish. And that is going to be a kill for Tadish. Bay is the first up on that board. Score is 1-0 Bay. Kaler to serve. She sends this one right into the middle. Alpena almost doesn't get that one. That was almost an ace. They return it, though, and it lands right at the back line. Allen tried real hard to dig for that. Didn't quite get there. Score is 1-1, Alpena to serve. Kate Skiba is up to serve for Alpena. Skiba gets the go-ahead, bounces the ball a few times. Sends this one up and away along the side. Kaler to Tadish, who just bumps it over neatly. Pina sets it up in a back set for weak side hit. And Allen puts her hands up, tries to set it, and just sends it off to the side. Good attempt there by Allen. Score is now 2-1 Alpena. Skiba serves this one over. Allen to Kaler. Back set to Tadish. Tipped up by Alpena, but we're going to get a net violation. Actually, they're going to call that a double hit. It bounced off of one hand on her block and then the other. We're going to get a substitution for Bay here, tied up 2-2. Rudder's going to take a seat. Rexford's out to serve. Nice serve by Rexford. And Alpena somehow recovers that one off the net. That's the second time they've done that. Rexford from the back row tries to kill that one. Alpena's there. Off the block, Kaler to Rexford, who sends it up forward. Allen sends it right along, and the angle's not quite right on that. It falls onto Bay's side. Score is now 3-2, Alpena. Allie DeRocher up to serve. Serve is up. Yant, nice solid pass to Kaler. Tadish comes flying out of nowhere and nails that one, but Alpena returns it right to that back corner. Rexford took a look at it, thought it was out. Score is now 4-2, Alpena. Ball's up and over, very deep. Rexford with a solid bump, but a little too close to the net. Ticks the bottom of the ribbon and just drops. Not a whole lot you can do there. Score is 5-2, Alpena. Serve receive is good. Kaler to Tadish, who just soaks it into that block. It drops down right in front of the blockers and lands on their side at their feet. That is going to be a kill. Score is 5-3. Yant to serve. She sends this one over. Alpena recovers it in the back and then sends it off to the side. Manages to get it over, but it is out, and I managed to get a little playing time myself, saving my computer. Score is 5-4. Yant to serve. She sends this one over. Lofty serve there. Alpena tries to return it, but is blocked by Johnson. Johnson is there again as they try to return it again. Johnson says, no, thank you, not today, not in my house. That girl's got some reach. We're going to get a timeout from Alpena. I will say I am impressed with Johnson and how tall she can make herself. She's already tall. When I was talking to her earlier, she stands over me, and I'm tall for a girl. But she's got some reach. Long arms, long fingers. Nothing gets past her. Score is tied up 5-5. It's getting a little toasty here in the gym right now. Not as toasty as it was last night when I was over at NMU. That was unbearable. But starting to get a little warmer, getting some bodies packed in here. Good crowd today. Not sure if you can hear the student section, but they've started some cheers. Got a whole section, and now the whole gym is erupting in cheers. Here we go. Yant to serve. Score is 5-all. Second set. Top official gives Yount the go-ahead. And Yount sends this one deep. Alpena tries to hit from the right side, and we're going to get a violation, a double hit, it looks like, for Alpena. Bay is going to be awarded the point. Score is now 6-5, Bay College in the lead. Yount gives it a little bit of a switch up on her serve, light serve. Alpena tips it over the top of the block of Johnson and Taylor. Point Alpena, we're tied up again, 6-all. Back and forth we go. This is an exciting matchup between the two. We're going to take a pause here to clean up the court a little bit. Like I was just saying, it's starting to get a little warm in here. And when it does get warm like that, you see a bit of condensation on the floor. It's getting a little bit slippery. Nothing a little towel can't fix. And we are back in action and ready to go. Erlab to serve. She sends it over. Rexford to Kaler to Johnson in the middle. She tips it off the block, off one player, and that is going to be a kill. Kill for Johnson. Score is 7-6. We're going to make a substitution. Taylor comes out onto the bench, and we're going to see a serve from Sandville here. Score is 7-6. Bay leads. Sandville sends this one long. Nice, beautiful serve by Sandville. Alpena tries to tip it over the block, and that is going to be just outside. Lucky for Bay, that went out of bounds without touching the blockers. Sandville is up to serve again. The score is 8-6. Sandville sends this one to the back. Alpena sends it high and tried to kill it from the back row by their libero, number 8, Avery Zip. She can't quite get it there, sends it straight into the net. Sandville to serve again. Score is now 9-6. Bay in the lead. Sandville sends this one even longer, right in the back. Alpena gets underneath that one. They send it along the line there, and we're going to see a hit from Allen that goes way outside. Alpena's going to get that one back. Score is now 9-7. Bay College. Bram McClure up to serve. She sends this one straight to Sandville, to Kaler, to Johnson, and that one is going to tip the top of the net and come back down. 9-8. Bay still leading by 1. See an interesting serve by Alpena there. A little bit of a J serve. That's going to be an ace for Alpena. We're now tied up 9-9. Coach takes a timeout. Good call by Coach. So we're sitting at 9-all here in the Bay College gym in the very first home game for the first season of Bay College. Now, this is a little bit of a tense spot right now. This is a bit of a turning point when it comes to a set in volleyball. You know, once you get into the double digits, you get that momentum, it seems, to kind of make a run for it. So whichever team pulls ahead here, it's going to be very, very important. Suddenly getting a little bit of a breeze. I think they might have added some more fans to the gym. We've got fans all over the place. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fans here trying to cool it down in here, trying to keep it safe for the players so we don't have too much condensation. Good cheering from the crowd here. Good solid crowd today at this volleyball game. Alpena to serve. They send this one over. Rexford gets under it. Nice pass. Kaler sets it up for Johnson. Alpena recovers, sends it to the right side. Another tip, but this time Bay was ready for it. A nice dig there by Sandville. She wasn't quite able to get underneath it. That was a good adjustment by Bay. That's the third time Alpena has tried to sneak one there. And that serve is going to tip the top of the net. Good adjustment by Allen as she just turns quickly and pops it up so her teammates can get a piece of it. Another tip by Alpena. Kaler to Johnson, who does a nice move. That was sneaky. From the middle, she just turned over towards her left and just tipped it right along the net. It landed right on the edge. Beautiful placement. That's some smart volleyball right there. Allen to serve. And an ace for Allen. We are now sitting at 11-10. Bay has taken the lead. Allen to serve. Sends this one up and long. Libero gets underneath it for Alpena. They send it to the left side, and that is going to be a weak side hit for Alpena. Kill there. We're tied 11-all. Libero up to serve. Avery Zip. She sends this one right into Sandville. Sandville pops it up for Kaler. Kaler for the back row for Allen. It tips off the top of the net. Alpena gets underneath it. They bump it up and shoot it over. And Kaler sends it to the back row for Allen again. She sends it over lightly. Alpena tries, and they get blocked by Johnson and Kaler. Brick wall. Kaler sets this one up, and that is going to be a powerhouse by Rudder, but not quite enough. Allen to Kaler, back row to Allen. She sends that one straight to the libero for Alpena, who pops it into the net. Alpena tries, but they can't recover. That is going to be a point for Bay. 12-11, Bay to lead. Johnson's going to take a seat. Paquin is going to come out to serve. Paquin gets ready at the back line. Bounces the ball a few times, spins it in her hands, and it is up, and oof, that was a bullet. Kaler pops this one up, and we're going to get a point for Alpena. 4 hits for the Norse. There's a little bit of a miscommunication there, a little bit of a pause, but Yant is going to come in now. Score is 12-all. We're neck and neck. Alpena serves. Sandville to Kaler. And that is going to be Todish, who sends it a little long. A little too much oomph and not quite enough angle on that one. Vermilia to serve. Beautiful dig by Allen. And that is a solid block by Alpena. DeRocher wasn't letting anything come through from Todish. 14-12 Alpena. Alpena to serve. Sends this one over. Sandville to Kaler, who gives it a little setter dump. Trickiest setter dump from Alpena themselves. Kaler sets it up for Rudder. And that is going to be a point for Bay. There's a little bit of a discussion between the referees. Originally, they called it a point for Alpena because it did go long, but there was a little bit of a touch by those Alpena blockers on that. They reversed the call. Bay is going to be awarded the point. Score is 14-13. Kaler to serve. She gets it over. Alpena returns it with a bump. Kaler, and there's a little bit of a discussion here between the two teams as they go back and forth, back and forth. Nice volley here. Kaler to Rudder, who sends it, I think, into the top of the net. Blockers were there, but I don't think that one made it quite over. Score is now 15-13 Alpena. Some quick playing players here. Very quick volleys. And that is going to be a serve on the outside. Score is now 15-14. Alpena leading by 1. Rexford up to serve. She sends this one up and away. That's going to be a little long. She's got quite a powerful serve, I will say. Some power there. Number 2, Allie DeRocher up to serve for Alpena. Score is 16-14 Alpena. DeRocher sends it to Allen, who sends it to the net. Kaler's able to get a piece of it. Jant sends it over with a bump. Alpena tries to tip it over, and we're going to get a whistle. They're going to call an infraction here on Alpena. Score is 16-15. Alpena leads by 1. Jant up to serve. Jant sends this one deep. Libero gets underneath it for Alpena. Alpena back row hit. Jant to Kaler. Back set. Going to be a good effort by Taylor. Alpena returns it. And good dig by Alpena, but not enough. That is going to be a point for Bay. 16 all. This has been an intense matchup between these two teams in this second set. Bay wants it, and they want it bad. Jant sends serve over. The libero gets underneath it for Alpena. Kaler, good dig by Rexford. Oh my gosh. Alpena tries to return it again. Jant pops it up. Kaler is there. Allen with the hit, and sky high on Alpena's side. Alpena sends it over with a push. Rexford to Kaler, gets it trapped in her fingertips and just throws it down on the ground by accident. Every once in a while that'll happen. The ball gets slippery. But 17-16, Alpena leading by 1. Some great volleyball we're seeing. And that is going to be an ace for Alpena. Score is 18-16. Coach Porath is yelling, gotta go, gotta go. Bay has got to take it now. 18-16, Alpena. Serve is good. Kaler for Johnson, and Johnson gets blocked. It came back and landed in her arms. There wasn't any recovery happening for that one. It's tough when it lands right in your chest and goes nowhere. Alpena sends this one across the top. Good recovery by Rexford. Jant from the back row. Up, and out. Score is 2016, my bad. 2016 Alpena. And the powerhouse serve from Alpena. Kaler to Allen on the right side. Alpena sets it up for a right side of their own, and that is going to do it for them. Score is 21-16. We're going to get a timeout from Bay. Score is 21-16. Alpena is leading. This has been some incredible back and forth volleyball. Very intense, very high energy. I am getting tired watching them. Now, I watched volleyball all day yesterday, and I mean all day yesterday at the NMU Open. And this is some of the quicker paced volleyball that I've seen this weekend. These girls have good feet, quick transitions. They're doing a great job. This has been very entertaining to watch. I'm really enjoying the things that I'm seeing right now from the Bay College volleyball program. And the thing to remember here is Alpena's played with, they played last season together. They have some experience. They do have a lot of freshmen, but this is the first time that Bay is playing at home ever. These girls have never played together on this court with a crowd, and they are doing phenomenal. Coach has a couple of last-minute conversations with a couple of the players, and we are ready to be underway. 21-16, Alpena leads. Set 2. Erlab to serve. She serves this one deep. Jant sends it nice and high. Kaler gets underneath it. Right side hit from Allen. A little lofty. Alpena manages to get underneath it. Returns with a right side hit of their own. Rexford gets under it. Good effort by Jant. Allen sends it over. That was incredible. Alpena tips it over. Jant is on the floor, but Rexford backs her up. Shoot by Kaler. Alpena tries one more time, middle, but they get blocked. Johnson was there. She got every piece of that as he goes off into the crowd. That was incredible. if you aren't watching the live stream right now, you should be, because that was insane. I absolutely love what we're seeing right now from Yount and Rexford. That is a good matchup. They are excellent and on the same page with one another. Rexford's going to send this one to Kaler, who bumps it over, and Alpena just sends it right into the net. Score is 21-18. Bay is trailing right now. The crowd is up and down there. It's so excited right now. Sandville sends this one over. Alpena gets underneath it. Middle hit and a block. Kaler and Johnson. Oh my goodness. Brick house. That was incredible. I mentioned earlier in my pregame the blocking game is on point for Bay, and it is here to play. Alpena tries to recover it, and yet again blocked, this time by Allen and Johnson. And we're going to see Alpena send it long this time. Kaler gets underneath it and sends it to Allen. The kill by Allen. Oh, no. Hit by Allen. Not quite a kill yet. Sandville gets underneath it, and Johnson just tips it over into the middle of the campfire that Alpena was sitting around. Beautiful placement by Johnson. Sandville's going to send this serve over. Alpena sends it high, and that set was a little low. This hitter couldn't get there. Kaler for a low. Oh my goodness! Johnson is on fire right now. She is so excited. We're going to get a timeout from Alpena. Oh my goodness, the crowd is on their feet, and we are tied up 21-all. I am so excited right now. I almost forgot to look at the scoreboard. I didn't realize we were tied, but we are tied. That's how you know it is a good game, when you forget to look at the score. Right now, the girls are amped up. That coming out of that timeout, that was just the breather they needed to get on a roll, and on a roll they are. I cannot believe right now the energy that we are getting, the placement, the power. This is exactly what you want to see for any home game. We're even seeing some push-ups right now. The mascot is doing push-ups. There's a whole crowd of boys hyping him up. We've got just a good time going here. If you're not down here at the gym right now, you should be, because this is where the party is at. Alpena's going to take almost every second of that timeout to try to figure out what they can do to stop Bay right now, because Bay is coming at them like a freight train. 21-all. Sandville to serve. Sandville bounces the ball a few times, sends this one up and over. A little bit of spin on that one. Alpena sends a back set, bounces off of the block of Johnson and falls into Bay territory. Alpena is going to get that point. 22-21, Alpena leading by 1. McClure to serve. She sends this one deep off of Yount, and that is going to hit the back wall. Ace for Alpena. 23-21, Alpena leads. Right now it's time to put pedal to the metal. Alpena sends this serve deep. Rexford to Sandville. Johnson and Yount fight for it but get it over. Rexford to Kaler. Right side hit by Allen. Libero gets underneath it for Alpena, and we're going to get an infraction for Alpena. That point is going to go to Bay. 23-22. Allen to serve. We're going to get a substitution. Rexford is going to come off the court. Rudder is going to come in. Allen to serve. This one goes up and deep, and that is right on the back line. An ace for Allen right when Bay needed it most. We're tied up 23-all. It is so intense right now, guys. Allen is going to have a service error there. She just got a little too much spin on that, not enough power. Score is 24-23. Morgan Krentz to serve. Krentz sends this one up and over nicely. Sandville gets underneath it, nice and high for Kaler. Allen in the back row, and Alpena sends this one really close to the net and out of bounds. That is gonna go point to Bay. 24 all. I must remind you, it is win by 2. So Johnson's gonna come out. Paquin's gonna come in to serve. Paquin lines it up, sends this one, nice, solid serve. That's an ace! An ace for Paquin. 25-24, Bay is leading right now. Win by 2. We are looking at set point in set 2. Paquin to serve, solid serve. And Alpena struggles to recover it, almost hits the basketball hoop, but it's still in play. They managed to make it over. Kaler to Tadish, and that's a kill there. That is a kill for Tadish. 26-24, Bay College takes the second set of the game. We are now sitting at 1 set apiece. We are gonna go into a 4th set no matter what. We are gonna take a 3-minute break while I take a breather here. I am out of breath from just screaming into this microphone. We're gonna take a 3-minute break. I'm Grace Harlow for the Radio Results Network. I've got Alpena's, but I don't know if there's any down there for Bay. Yeah, preferably. If there's not a copy of it, Welcome back, Bay College volleyball fans. I'm Grace Harlow from the Radio Results Network. We are here for an electric match between Bay College and Alpena Community College. So far, we have gone 2 sets. First set was 25-23 Alpena. Second set was 26-24 Bay. So we are going to go into a 4th set later. We are in set 3 currently, awaiting the first serve of the match. Well, first serve of the set. We've got a great crowd here today. This has been an amazing game. We've seen some things that have just been insane. I really want to know how good Yount and Rexford have been doing on the defensive. And as Johnson with her block, she has just been on fire. We're going to get that first serve. Alpena is struggling to send it back over to Bay. Bay pops it up very close to the net, and Kaler takes full advantage of that and just throws it down. But the refs are going to say that that was a carry on the part of Kaler. Porath is not happy with that. Coach has a few words with the ref, but the ref's decision stands. And that first point is going to go to Alpena. The score is 1-0. Alpena serves. Bay gets underneath it, sets it up. Yount picks it up from the block, and Tadish is going to send it over. Net violation for Alpena. So Bay is going to get that one right back. Score is 1-1. Sandville's going to come off the court. Taylor's going to come in. Kaler to serve. Kaler sends this one over neatly. Alpena sets this up for a far right side, and a shoot by Alpena off into the crowd. Misjudgment there. Score is 2-1. Bay leads. Kaler bounces the ball a few times, sends this one over. Very nice serve. And that is going to be a point for Bay. Not sure if they consider that one an ace or not. A couple players were managed to touch it, but it did get tangled up in the basketball hoop that's here in the gym. Score is 3-1 Bay. Kaler to serve. Alpena sends it tight to the net. Tadish throws it down, but Alpena gets underneath it. Kaler to Tadish, who sends it. Nice dig by Alpena, though. Taylor over to Rudder. That is a beautiful hit by Rudder. But the refs are going to call a net violation and award the point to Alpena. Score is now 3-2. 3-2. Bay leading by 1. A little bit of a pause here as we try to figure out who's serving. Skiba up to serve. She sends this one over. Allen to Kaler to Tadish in the middle. Tadish puts some power behind it. Alpena pops it up high, tries a right side hit of their own, and Rudder gets a little caught up in her own feet and isn't able to recover that. Score is 3-3. Alpena to serve. Yount to Kaler for a back set, and Rudder redeems herself. That was just vicious. And with that, Rudder is going to come off the court. Rexford is going to come in to serve. Score is 4-3, Bay leading by 1. Rexford serves, and we have an illegal rotation on Alpena. They transitioned a little too soon on that. That is one thing you have to be real careful about in volleyball, is exactly where your feet are lining up in relative position to the other players around you. So Bay is leading 5-3. Rexford gets an ace. That was a little bit scary as it tipped off the top and it just fell. Alpena just looks stunned. Alpena's going to call a timeout. First timeout of set 3. Score is 6-3. Bay leading by 3. Bay's got to be feeling pretty good right about now. We've seen a lot of solid stuff. Rudder, that right there, that was just a vicious hit. I'm glad I wasn't up there blocking. My hands would be hurting from that one. We're seeing a lot of good things from Bay. We've seen a lot of good things from Alpena too. This is just a good match of volleyball. Very evenly matched team. Alpena is making their way back to the court. Bay is going to take a few more seconds. They break from their huddle and make their way back. Rexford is up to serve. On the court, we have Rexford, Yount, Kaler, Taylor, Todish, and Allen. Oh. And not sure what happened there. We're going to replay that ball. I believe that had something to do with the refs. So no point either side there. We're going to just replay it. Rexford sends this one up and over. Libero gets underneath it for Alpena. Alpena back sets to the left side. And good recovery by Bay. Kaler just bumps it over. And we're going to get a middle hit that is blocked. Kaler and Todish were there. They're excited about that one, as they should be. That was beautiful. Score is 7-3, Bay taking the lead. And Rexford's going to get a service error on that one. A little too far off to the left. Goes out of bounds. DeRocher to serve for Alpena. She sends this one over. Rexford gets underneath it. Kaler sends it backwards. And Taylor gets the kill. There wasn't a whole lot of extra power on that one, but there was a whole lot of spin, and it just got caught up in Alpena's fingertips and just went careening off into the crowd. Yount to serve now for Bay. And Alpena's going to send that one into the net. Score is now 9-4. That was an ace for Yount. Yount spins the ball, sends it up and deep, right to the libero. Alpena gets tripped up with themselves and sends that one into the net. Score is now 10-4. Bay leading. I will say we've seen quite a difference in this set from Alpena than we saw in the last one. Yount's going to send a light serve over, and it gets over. Alpena tips it over. Rexford's going to do a back row hit. Nice solid hit there. And Alpena sets it up, tries to do a little bit of a dump over, and just falls short. The crowd right now, the energy from the crowd. The mascot is on the floor, and he can't get up. We're going to get another timeout here. Score is 11-4. Bay leads. This is the largest lead Bay has had so far in this game. Not sure what is going on for Alpena right now. They seem to have a lot of miscommunication. They're discussing things with one another right now. Bay's in good spirits. They're joking and laughing with each other over there. It's always good to see a team having fun while they're doing this. You'll see teams sometimes that are very, very serious, and to me, it's just so much better when a team can have fun, good spirits, good vibe. There's just so much more fun to watch when they're having fun themselves. Alrighty. We're getting ready. Yount is ready to serve. Score is 11-4. And we get the go-ahead from the top official. Janssen's a light serve over, diving dig from Alpena. They bump it over. Rexford gets underneath it to Kaler, who sets it up for Taylor, who pops it through the block. That was beautiful. There was a small gap between those blockers, and Taylor took full advantage of that. Score is now 12-4. Bay leads. Jant sends this one deep to the libero. Alpena pops it up for the left side, and that goes long. 13-4. Bay is running away with it right now. Jant sends this one off, and that's going to be an ace for Jant. 14-4. Alpena's looking very frustrated right now. Jant gets the go-ahead, sends this serve over. And we're going to see a set and a light little hit from Alpena. Allen to Kaler to a long hit. That was a lofty hit. It was almost like Allen was trying to drop it into the back corner right at the feet of the line judge, which almost worked, but close, but no cigar. Alpena sends a very long serve. Bay sends that one over lightly. And we're going to get a little setter dump popped up by Allen. Jant's on the floor. Johnson sends it over. Alpena sets it up for a quick little hit, and Jant can't quite get underneath it. That is going to be a point for Alpena. We are now sitting at 14-6 Bay. Erleb is continuing her serve. She sends this one straight to Rexford to Kaler. Back set to Taylor, who gets blocked. And we'll see what happens. Bay sent that one sky high and didn't quite get it over the net. It's now 14-7. Alpena is trying to make a comeback. Solid serve there by Erlab. Kaler to Johnson in the middle. It wasn't quite there for Johnson. Her timing was a little bit off. 14-8, Bay. Erlab to serve. Erlab serves it right into the net. And Bay will take it. 15-8. Taylor's going to take a seat. Sandville's going to come in to serve. Sandville gets to go ahead. Sends this one to Alpena, who just tried to dip it back over. Sandville gets underneath it to Kaler to Johnson with an interesting approach on that one. She just kind of came up over her head, over her shoulders, sideways. Some smart playing there by Johnson. She just is able to be very versatile in her hitting. Bay serves this one over. Alpena back sets it. And a dive by Rexford. Good effort there by Rexford, but she couldn't recover it. 16-9. Bay leads. Third set. McClure to serve. McClure jump serves this one, and Johnson is going to send it over, but Alpena gets underneath it. There's a lot of spin on this ball, and we're going to get a point for Bay. They're going to call a double hit over here on Alpena. 17-9. Rudder is going to come into the game. Allen to serve. Allen sends this one up and up to the libero, and Alpena. They're going to try a right side hit, but Kaler says, nope, not today. Alpena tries it again. They just bump it over lightly. Kaler sets it up for Rudder, who sends it over. And Alpena's going to set it up for a right side hit of their own that lands right on the back line. Good placement there by Alpena. Good effort by Allen trying to recover it. Couldn't quite get there fast enough. Score is 17-10. Alpena is going to serve. We've got Morgan Krentz up to serve. She's got an interesting serve there. And Bay can't quite get it back over the net. They bump, set, and spike, but hit the top of the ribbon and fell on their side. Score is now 17-11. Alpena sends it over again. Sandville to Kaler, back set to the middle for Johnson, and just outside the line. Score is now 17-12. Inch by inch, Alpena is trying to take it back. Alpena sends this one off the top of the net, and good attempt by Johnson. She gets it over, and we're gonna get a violation called on Bay. Timeout by Bay. Good call by coach there. 17-13. Bay is still leading, but Alpena, they are digging deep. They're starting to get their groove here. Things have been gelling a little bit better since that last timeout for Alpena. Bay is looking strong, though. We've seen some really good digs, a lot of good energy. Rexford, Yount, and Johnson have all had some amazing digs. We've seen some power from Rudder. We've seen some power from Johnson. Alpena's gonna make their way back to the court. Bay is gonna take a few extra seconds, and then they're going to make their way back to the court. The players keep kind of making fun of their shoes a little bit. I think the floor might be a little slick on their side. Krentz to serve. Score is 17-13 Bay. Krentz sends this one over neatly. Kaler sets up Allen in the back row. She sends it deep. Alpena gets underneath it for a right side hit. They try to tip it over. Allen dives for it. There's slipping and sliding on the Bay side, but they managed to get it over. Back set for Alpena. Try to do a hit from the ground. Doesn't work. And Johnson hits it, but she gets blocked. Everybody's tangled up on the Bay side, but they managed to get it over by Sandville. And Alpena tips it off the top of the net. It bounces off the fingertips of a Bay player and goes out of bounds. Good effort there. We're going to take a few seconds to attend to the Bay side of the court. It's quite slippery. Johnson slipped twice. I saw a couple of other players tripping and slipping and sliding over there. Johnson managed to slide her way up off the ground in order to be right back down again, diving for it. We've got multiple people on the floor with towels right now. Might need to mop it in between sets. Score is 17-14. Alpena to serve. Krentz sends a neat serve over. Allen to Kaler, who sets it up for Johnson, who tips it. It bounces off of multiple Alpena players, and that is just what Bay needed right now. 18-14. We're going to do a substitution. Johnson's going to come and sit on the bench, while number 11, Victoria Paquin, is going to come in to serve. Bay leads. Paquin sends this one to the far side. Alpena gets underneath it. Right side hit, up over the block. Sandville recovers it. Kaler to Sandville in the back row. Alpena pops it up for a back row hit of their own. This time, Allen pops to Kaler. Kaler over, and there's some miscommunication from Bay. Alpena recovers it, and Bay gets set back up quickly. Back row hit here, and it's going to be a block by number 2 on Alpena's side, Ali DeRocher. I will say that was good recovery, though, by Bay. They were out of position, and they managed to get back very quickly. Paquin's going to come back off the court. Johnson's going to come in just for a second until Yount comes and takes her place in the back row. Allen picks up the serve and sends it over to Sandville, who does a back row hit. Alpena sets it up and gets blocked. That was everything and more by Tadish. No reaction from Tadish. She was like, yeah, I did that. Amber Kaler up to serve for Bay. Kaler sends this one over. Alpena gets underneath it, pops it up for a middle push. And that push goes long, but it is in right at the feet of the line judge. Score is now 19-16. Bay leads by 3. Kate Skiba to serve. Skiba sends this one into the net. Side out Bay. Bay has hit 20. Score is 20-16. Rexford in to serve. This is a pivotal moment in this set. Rexford sends this one deep, sky high on the Alpena side, and they send it even higher as they try to pop it over. Just a little bump. Kaler pops it up near the net, and Tadish says, "Not today, this is my house." Finally, some reaction from Tadish. She is grinning from ear to ear. Tadish came to play today. Alpena's having a conversation with one of the refs. The decision stands. Rexford to serve, 21-16. Rexford sends this one deep, right into the chest of the libero. Alpena sets it up for a left side hit, and that was just fire. It bounces behind the bench. Score is now 21-16. 21-17. Bay leads. Alpena serves this one deep and long. Another service error by Alpena. Score is 22-17. Yount to serve. It's now or never. Yount takes full advantage of that. Nice serve, makes the libero dive for it. Alpena returns in the middle. Yount is there, sends it to Kaler. Johnson tips it over the top of the block, and Alpena is a little jumbled up in the middle, but they get it over. Kaler to Taylor to Allen on the far side. Returned by Alpena. They set it up for the far side, and it bounces off of Rexford, and that is going to be a point for Alpena. Score is 22-18. The pressure in here is insane right now. The anticipation is almost palpable. Alpena sends a solid line drive of a serve over. Johnson tries to hit it over and gets blocked. Kaler to Taylor, and Alpena sets it up in the middle. Nice little hit over from Alpena. Kaler gets it. It's a little close to the net. She's not able to recover it. Score is now 22-19. Bay's still leading. Alpena sends just a vicious serve. That is quite an ace. Oh my goodness. Erlab, no mercy. Score is 22-20. Alpena comes off the court screaming. They're hyped up. 22-20. Bay leads by 2. Bay's having a little discussion over by their bench. We're mopping up the floor. It's quite toasty in the gym right now. I'm regretting the decision that I made earlier of wearing long sleeves today. You know, you think I'd know better. I've done enough of these games at this point this weekend. Probably you think I'd make smarter decisions on what I choose to wear. The crowd is in good spirits. We've got some dance moves going on. If you're not down here at the gym, you've still got time. We've got plenty of play left. We're going into at least one more set after this. And there's a game later tonight, 5 p.m. So come on down to the gym. We're going to get this underway for the last couple sets. Score is 22-20. Bay leads by 2. Alpena to serve. Alpena sends this one over. Yount's underneath it. She sends it to Kaler. Kaler to Johnson in the middle. She gets it through the block. Alpena sets it for a right side. Good effort by Alpena. They get the point on that one. The score is now 22-21. Alpena gets to go ahead to serve. Alpena sends this one deep. Good recovery by Kaler here. Taylor just bumps it over. Alpena sets it up for a middle hit, and one of the oddest hits I have seen this weekend. She had her fist closed on that one and it hit the side of her hand, and it just worked. 22 all. And that is going to be an ace for Alpena. Score is now 23-22. Alpena has taken the lead. Bay needs to dig deep right now. Alpena sends this one over. Rexford underneath it. Kaler, Johnson in the middle, and Alpena pops it over in two. Kaler gets a little tripped up. She sends it to Yount. Yount to Allen, and Allen crosses underneath the net. She just had a little too much of momentum on her approach. She tried to save it with everything that she had, but her toes just slipped underneath the net. Good effort there by Bay. Score is 24-22. Set point, Alpena. Alpena sends this one long, and that is an ace for Alpena. That is the set. It is now 25-22 Alpena. Alpena has 2 sets to Bay's 1. We are going to go into set 4. We're going to take a 3-minute break and then come back. I'm Grace Harlow for the Radio Results Network. What do you mean, for like the second game tonight? Yeah, I'm probably, well, let me think about that. I've got time to think about it. I usually bring something to drink just because I know it's going to be rough on my voice. Thank you. Welcome back, volleyball fans. We are here at Bay College for the first ever home game against Bay College and Alpena Community College. It has been a back and forth battle. We are now in set 4, has been the theme of my weekend. Extra sets of volleyball, and I love it. We've got Bay up to serve. We have not started this set yet. Score is 0-0, obviously. We've seen a lot of really great things. We've seen a lot of high energy. This crowd is amazing today, I will say. And there's the first serve. Alpena is going to try to return that, and it's going to bounce off the fingertips of Allen. Alpena is first on the board. Score is 1-0, Alpena. Number 6, Kate Skiba up to serve. She sends this one over, and Allen pops it to Kaler, to Taylor. Off the block, and Alpena recovers it. They send it over real quick, but there's a violation on Alpena's side. They're going to call a violation on number 5. Rexford's going to come in to serve for Bay. Score is tied up 1-1. Rexford sends this one over. Rexford has a nice, consistent serve. Alpena's scrambling for it. They bounce it over. And Yount to Kaler to Tadish, who says, yeah, we're going to start this thing off with a bang. 2-1, Bay leads. The crowd is on their feet at the edge of the court. Rexford sends this one deep to the libero on the Alpena side. And they try to hand it off to McClure, but McClure just can't get it done. 3-1, Bay. Rexford to serve. Rexford sends this one straight to the libero. Alpena sets it up nicely for number 2, Allie DeRocher. That is going to be a point for Alpena. Score is 3-2. Bay leads by 1. DeRocher to serve. Serve receive is good. Nice controlled pass by Yount. She sends it to Kaler, who sends it to Tadish, who it gets stopped at the top of the net and bounces there for a second. Tadish recovers it, and Allen sends it over. Alpena is scrambling for it, and they push it over. Kaler to Taylor to Tadish, who gets blocked. And Kaler tries Allen in the back row for a back row hit. That gets returned. Allen sends it back over. And that is going to be a point for Bay. Score is 4-2. Yount is up to serve. Yount gets the go ahead. She sends that one just outside. Service error there. Score is 4-3. Bay leading by 1. Alpena to serve. We've got Autumn Vermilia. Vermilia straight to Allen. Allen to Kaler, who sends it to Taylor. Off the block. Kill for Taylor. Taylor's going to come off the court with that. On a high note. Sandville in to serve. Sandville sends this one over. And Alpena's going to try to sneak that one around the block, but Allen's there. And Johnson, kill for Johnson. Six to 3. Sandville still serving. Sandville puts every inch of it into that, and it just doesn't quite have the force to get over the top of the ribbon that it made contact with. 6-4, Bay leads. McClure to serve. Yount pops it way high for Kaler, who sends it to Johnson. And Alpena sends it real close to the net and can't do it in 3. 7-4, Bay leads. Rexford's going to come off the court. Rudder is going to come into the game. Allen to serve. Allen sends this one solidly into the back row. Alpena gets low underneath it. Alpena returns from the left side. Kaler back sets for a back row hit from Sandville. And Alpena returns and pops it over the top of the block of Kaler and Johnson again. Sandville tries to get underneath it. She doesn't quite get there. We've seen this a few times from Alpena. This seems to be a weak spot for Bay. Morgan Krentz to serve. She sends this one to Sandville, who gets it while falling. Rudder right through the block. It gets caught up in the defenders. Kill for Rudder. 8-5. Johnson's going to come off the court. Number 11, Victoria Paquin, in to serve. Paquin sends this one cross court. Off the chest of the libero, an ace for Paquin. We've got some very solid serving going on here for Bay. Very controlled. Paquin sends this one deep, and as we like to joke about, that is what you call the broadcaster's curse. You start saying things about things going well, and bad things happen. So that serve's going to be a little long. Alpena's going to take it back. 9-6. Alpena sends that one deep. Bay sends it to Kaler, who sends it to Yant for the back row. Alpena sets it up and a bump over. Kaler gets it in. That was incredible, but the refs are going to call it on the outside of that antenna. And that is going to be a point for Alpena. Score is 9-7. Allen to Kaler, very high, and Yant calls off Tadish, gets it over. That was a little bit scary there, but score is now 10-7. Taylor's going to come back into the game. Sandville's going to take a seat. Kaler to serve. She tips it off the top of the net, and Alpena back sets it for number 6, Skiba, who sends it long into the crowd. Score is now 11-7. Kaler to serve. She sends this one right along the top of the net. Doesn't touch the top of the net, but it almost does. Alpena sends that one down with a little bit of force right behind the blockers. Score is now 11-8. Bay leads. Skiba to serve. She bounces it a few times. Sends this one over straight to Taylor, to Kaler, who pops it up for the middle for Tadish. Tadish comes down awkwardly, and Alpena sends it back. Allen sets it forward to Kaler, and a nice fadeaway by Rudder. I'm not sure if she intended that or not, but she faded backwards and hit it with a little less force than what it looked like she was going to come at it with. It faded over the top of the block and landed in that sweet spot right behind them. Score is 12-8. Bay leads. Rexford to serve. Rexford sends this one right along the line. Nice serve by Rexford. Alpena tries, and that is quite a block by Tadish and Taylor. Tadish hits it over. Alpena recovers. They back set it. Nice dig by Yant. She's on the ground. Taylor comes and hits it in the middle. Taylor tips off the block, and there are players all over the floor. Tadish is slow to get up. She's looking a little tired, but she's okay. Score is 12-9. DeRocher to serve. DeRocher tips it off the top of the net. Yant is there sliding on her knees, and Tadish sends it over deep. Alpena gets underneath it, sets it up for the right side, just sends it right into the net. McClare pats her chest as if to say that one was all me, guys. Score is 13-9. Yant to serve. Yant sends this one over lightly. It bounces off the top of the net. Alpena gets underneath it. Back row hit from Alpena. Yant tips it up. Rexford's right behind her. Good support there by Rexford. She sets it up for Allen. Allen sends it over. Alpena tries to hit it from the right side. Solid block by Johnson. It comes back. Alpena recovers it. They send it straight over to Allen. Allen passes it to the long side there for Kaler. And they're going to call an infraction on Bay. That was a good volley. Good attempt. Alpena's going to take the point. Autumn Vermilia is up to serve. Score is 13-10 with Bay leading by 3. Vermilia sends this one to Yant, who sets it up nicely for Kaler. And mistimed jump here. A little miscommunication between Kaler and Johnson. Johnson was there, but the ball was not. Good attempt by Bay. Vermilia sends this serve right into the middle. Rexford dives for it. I hear skin on the ground. Alpena back sets it to the left side and just sneaks it past Rexford, who goes diving for it again. Timeout for Bay. Score is 13-12. Coach is having some words with the team. I will say, Rexford is not afraid to leave it all out on the floor. She's been diving left and right. And such good support for Yant. Whenever Yant's still, she'll dive for it, and Rexford is right there to back her up. Quite a team you've got between those two. 13-12. Bay leads by 1. We're in the 4th set. Alpena leads 2-1. Coach Porat's having a few words here with Yant and Kaler. Alpena, though, is also having a few words. They're looking a little tired. The crowd, though, is not looking tired by any means. They are here and ready to cheer. This gym is just alive right now. 13-12. Bay leads by 1. Alpena to serve. Autumn Vermilia. She bounces the ball a few times, sends this serve over right to Yant, sets it up for Kaler to back set it to Taylor. Off the block of Alpena, they send it backwards. The libero gets underneath it, and they try to bounce it right into the net. Score is now 14-12. Bay leads. Substitution. Taylor's going to take a seat. Sandville's going to come in to serve for Taylor. And Sandville sends this one way long and outside. Alpena's going to take the point. Score is 14-13. McClure to serve. McClure sends this one deep right into Rexford. Rexford, nice controlled pass to Kaler. To Johnson, who gives it a little push. And Alpena's going to pop it over the top of the block. Kaler to the far side for Allen, and good call by Allen. She was in mid-fall backwards, arms reached out, and coach called her off of it. Good ears listening to the coach. She pulled her arms right in and didn't touch it as it fell out of bounds. Allen up to serve. Score is 15-13. Allen sends this one long, and the libero can't control it. That is going to be a point for Bay, 16-13. We're going to take a second to clean up the court. Allen sends this one deep. High set, and they're going to pop it over the block. This time, Sandville was there for all of that, not doing that trick today. Alpena sets it up again, back set for the left side, and Allen was there. She rolls for it, but she couldn't make it go anywhere. Score is 16-14. Alpena trailing by 2. Number 8, Avery Zip up to serve. Solid serve there. It's very dangerously close to Alpena, but Kaler was there. She blocked it. That made me a little nervous, but she blocked it, and that is going to be a point for Bay. Score is 17-14. Pocklin's going to come in for Johnson to serve. Yant's going to come off the court. Tadish is going to come in. Pocklin stands far off to the side as she makes this serve. Zip sends it over, and Alpena gets tangled up with each other and sends it into the net. A miscommunication there by Alpena. Score is now 18-14. Timeout for Alpena. Bay is excited, as they should be. We've seen some interesting serving from both sides today. There's some unique serves that we've seen. I really like Paquin's serve. She's got a very controlled, very consistent serve. And the fact that she's able to serve from both sides, usually you see a player, they pick their spot and they just stick to it. But she has some versatility there in her serving. On Alpena's side, there is one player who has an interesting little C serve that I rather enjoy. All right, the teams are making their way back to the court. And Paquin receives the ball. She bounces the ball a few times, waits for the go-ahead. Top official gives her the word. She sends this one way deep and out. Score is now 18-15. Johnson is going to come back onto the court. Paquin's going to take a seat. Johnson's going to take a seat as Yount comes in. Erlab to serve. She sends it to Allen. Allen to Kaler. Kaler sends it to Rudder, who has to scramble for it. Just out of bounds. Rudder got there, though. She was fast about it. Sandville's going to come out. Taylor's going to go in. Score is 19-15. Bay leads. Apparently, Alpena touched that one, though, even though it went out of bounds. So we're going to take it. Bay is going to serve. Kaler to serve. She gets a nice serve over. Alpena returns it with a bump. Allen to Kaler for a back set to Taylor, who bounces it off the top of the net. It does a weird little thing and lands right in the middle of Alpena's players. Score is 20-15. Kaler to serve. Kaler sends this one long into the sideline, but it's still in, and Alpena is going to take that one and just toss it down. Score is 20-16. Kate Skiba up to serve. Skiba sends this one to the side. Taylor passes it to Kaler. Kaler to Tadish in the middle. It pops off the block just past Zip. And it's going to be a point for Bay. 21-16. We're going to get a substitution. Rudder's going to come out. Rexford comes in. This is a good position for Bay to be in. And we're going to get a timeout for Alpena. Rexford was ready to serve. It was a very late timeout call. This is a good position for Bay to be in right now. Rexford has a very consistent serve. She's had a couple of streaks of points. So Bay is sitting at 21, Alpena at 16, with one of their better servers up to the line. If Bay takes this set, we're going into set 5. The pressure is on. Bay comes back to the court. Rexford takes her place, ready to serve. Alpena comes back to the court. Score is 21-16. Bay leads. Rexford gets the go-ahead. She sends this one straight to Zip, who pops it up. Outside hit here for Alpena. That's long, but Rexford pops it up close to the net. Dangerously close. Kaler sets it up off of Tadish's face. I hope she's okay. She's up. She's smiling about it. She's all right. Score is 21-17. Alpena is serving. Allie DeRocher. She sends this one up and over. Allen leans forward for it, but doesn't quite lean enough. Score is 21-18. Alpena is trying to make this comeback. And DeRocher is going to send that one into the net. Score is 22-18. Yount to serve. Bay is so close they can almost taste it. We're going to take a moment to wipe the court on Alpena's side. Just going to take a second here. And someone's come out with a mop now. The real MVP here. Now that the court is cleaned up, we are ready to be underway. Yount to serve. 22-18, Bay leads in set 4. Yount sends this one deep. Alpena sets it up for the right side. They get it over the block. Kaler to Johnson, right on the back line. Beautiful placement. Not the normal force we see from Johnson, but she made it work. 23-18, Bay leads. Yount to serve. Yount sends this one over neatly. Alpena sets it up in the middle, and they come lightly over the block. Kaler to Allen on the far side. Alpena recovers. They send it for a right side hit of their own. It slips through Rexford's fingers. And the score is now 23-19. Bay still leads. Vermilia to serve. Vermilia bounces the ball, sends it up and over. Allen to Kaler, and Johnson gets it tangled up in the top of the net, but it makes it over. Alpena recovers it and sends it over lightly. Kaler sends it real high for Allen, who sends it to the corner, but 6 is there on Alpena's side. And we're going to get a net violation on Bay. Score is 23-20. Alpena is inching back. Vermilia lines up her serve. Serve receive is good. Kaler pops it over with a fist. Alpena back sets it. It tips it over. Pancake by Yount. That was beautiful. And they're going to call that a lift. The top official has made the call. Kaler is going to have a conversation with the top ref. And she's making her argument. We're having a lengthy discussion here. And top ref's decisions going to stand. That is unfortunate for Bay. Vermilia to serve. Rexford sends it to Kaler, who back sets it. Yes, I do. Sorry about, I don't know what happened there. Yeah. I was going to say, it just said that the other side hung up. If you could send me back right after this commercial so I can recap what just happened, and then we'll send it to commercial again. Welcome back, Norse Bay volleyball fans. I do apologize for the technical difficulties there. Our internet cut out for just a second. Bay ended up taking that set, so we are going into set 5. There was a little bit of discussion between the top ref and the players as there was a call against Yant on the beautiful pancake that she had. The top ref's decision stood, but Alpena couldn't come through, and Bay took that one. So now we are sitting at 2 sets apiece. We're going to go into the 5th set, which is only played to 15. We're going to take a 1:30 break and come back at the 5th set. This is Grace Harlow for Radio Results Network. Welcome back, Bay College volleyball fans. This is Grace Harlow for the Radio Results Network. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty there as our internet cut out ever so briefly and cut me out at the last of that last set. But just to recap, we went 23-25, 26-24, 22-25, 25-21. Each team is sitting 2 sets apiece. We are in the 5th set that only goes to 15. And so far, Alpena has scored the first point. There's a little bit of a miscommunication on Bay's side. So Alpena is going to serve. Yant to Kaler. Kaler sends it to Tata. She sends it over the top. Alpena goes flying for it and shoots it into the back. Allen falls for it, and it falls right at her fingertips on the back line. Tough call there. Score is 2-0, Alpena. Alpena sends it long. Allen pops it up. Kaler comes flying into the middle of the court. Sends it to Taylor. Taylor sends it long. Alpena sets it up for a right side shoot. Allen, she pushes it as she falls away, and Tadish sends it over the tip of the blockers, and it falls right behind them. Score is 2-1 as Bay gets the serve back. Rexford into serve. Score is 2-1. Alpena leads. Rexford sends this one deep. Zipkins underneath it. Alpena sets it up in a back set for the left side. Yant sends it cross court to Kaler, who sends it dangerously close to the net. Rexford gets behind it, though, when it comes back from Alpena. And Allen tops it over the blockers. Alpena dives for it. They shoot it to Kaler in the back. Taylor sends it over to Allen, who sends it to the middle of the Alpena court. Yount is on her knees as she throws it over to Kaler, who sends it to Allen. Allen hits it over nicely, and Alpena tries to get fancy with it, and they get a little too fancy. Score is now 2-2 as that little tip falls short. Rexford still has the serve. She sends this one over. Alpena gets low to get underneath that one, and it is blocked by Tadish. Alpena recovers, though. Tipped off of Tadish's block that time. Kaler back sets it to Taylor, who sends it into the net. A little bit of mistiming there on Taylor's part. Score is now 3-2. Alpena leads. It is crunch time right now for both of these teams. Long serve there by Alpena. Kaler has to scramble to get it. It gets sent back right away, but Rexford's there. Allen tries to hit it, and she hits it on the outside. Score is 4-2. The bench is screaming, play your game, play your game. These girls are so close to their first win on their home court. And just like that, Tadish does play her game. Kill for Tadish. She's going to come off the court. Johnson's going to come in for her. Score is now 4-3. Alpena leading by 1. Yount sends the serve over. A long push that goes out of bounds for Alpena. Rexford did a great job of following it all the way to the line to make sure that it was going to be out of bounds. Score is now tied up 4-all. Yount sends this serve just short of the net. Score is now 5-4 Alpena. We've got more fans coming into the gym right now. They're standing in the doorway. If you're not here, you should be. 5-4, Alpena to serve. They send this one over lightly across the top. It didn't look like it was going to clear the top of the net, but it did. And it landed solidly at the feet of Rexford. DeRocher here serving. She sends this one deep. Yount is there. Rexford backs her up with the second hit. And Allen calls off Yount as she bumps it over. Alpena sets it up in the middle. Low set. And a little miscommunication there as several Bay players dove for it but didn't want to land on top of one another. Score is 7-4 Alpena. DeRocher to serve. Serve receive is... There's an ace for Alpena. Timeout is being called here. Nope. Timeout is being denied as the players are told to switch sides. That is the one rule that I find a little funky in volleyball. On the fifth set, when one of the teams reaches 8, they switch sides. It's to make sure that each team gets equal playing on each side of the court. This is to help combat in case one side of the court is slightly darker than the other, a little more drafty than the other, to kind of neutralize any variables there might be. But it does kind of disrupt the flow of play. So we'll see how that affects the flow here. We'll also see they're not going to award a timeout for Bay. So the score is now 8-4, Alpena to serve. DeRocher sends this one over. Allen gets it to Kaler, who comes up from the back row. Johnson and Taylor collide but get it over. And Johnson gets her fingertips on Alpena's return and just tips it off into the side where there was not a single Alpena player standing. Sandville is going to come in to serve. The score is 8-5. Alpena leads in the 5th set. Sandville sends this one deep. Zip gets underneath it. Zip sends this one up to the front. Alpena gets it over with a solid hit. Allen returns with a hit of her own that lands in the corner. Beautiful placement. Zip even nods her head as if to say, yeah, that was good. Score is now 8-6. Sandville to serve. Sandville sends this one long. Zip gets underneath it, sends it very close to the net. Left side is good for Alpena. They just tip it over the block. Score is 9-6. Autumn Vermilia to serve. Vermilia sends this one long. Rexford gets underneath it, set it up for Allen. Allen sends it, but number 6, Kate Skiba, is there. Bay blocks it, sends it back to Alpena. Alpena tries to bump it over. Kaler sets it up for Johnson, and Zip dives for it. There's a push, and they're going to call that a double hit on Alpena. Bay says we'll take it. Allen up to serve. Rudder comes into the game as Rexford takes a seat. Score is 9-7. Alpena leads. Allen sends this one long. Zip reaches for it, gets underneath it. And that is going to be a point for Alpena. That was a very long hit that may have been out, but one of the Bay players dove for it, and it grazed off her arms and into the back court. Score is now 10-7. McClure serves this one over. Sandville runs out of the way after she makes contact with it. Allen sends it to Rudder, who can't quite do it. Score is now 11-7. Timeout by Bay. This time they will be awarded the timeout. Score is 11-7. We're only going to 15. We have seen a lot of good things from both sides. Right now, it's not only a battle of physical stamina, but also mental stamina. Being down a few points in a match that only goes to 15 after playing 4 long sets can be very, very taxing on a team. So we're going to see what Bay is made of right now. Alpena's talking things through. They're getting ready to come out of their huddle. Bay also comes out of their huddle. And we are ready for the final face down here. McClure to serve. Score is 11-7. Alpena leads. McClure's waiting for the signal. She gets the go-ahead and sends this one to Allen, who plops on her butt as she recovers that. Johnson has nice placement. It bounced off a couple of Alpena players and just grazes past Sandville. That is going to be a point for Alpena. Score is 12-7. Alpena sends this one straight to Sandville. Yant is on top of her to recover the second hit, and they just send it over quickly. Alpena sends it back, set by Kaler. It's a little setter dump, sneaky, sneaky. Alpena sends this one off on the side, left side. Kaler dumps it over again. Don't think Alpena was expecting that, but they recover it. Johnson tips it. Kaler gets underneath it. Kaler again as it comes right back at her. There's no mercy for Kaler. Rudder! She tips it over the block, gets the point, gets it back for Bay. Score is 12-8. We're going to get a substitution. Johnson's going to come off the court. Yant is going to come off the court. We're going to have Paquin come in to serve. Tadish is coming into the middle. Paquin sends this one. Alpena reaches for it. A little miscommunication by Alpena, but they recover. They send it over. Little scramble by Rudder here, and Alpena gets low underneath it. They try to pop it over the block. Paquin says no thank you. Tadish comes in for a kill. Doesn't quite get it. She hits it back at him, and they're going to call that a lift. Coach is not happy with that call, but the top official is shaking her head. What she says is law. So Johnson's going to come back in. Paquin's going to take a seat. Johnson's going to come out as Yant comes in for Johnson. Alpena to serve. Scores 13-8. Alpena, service error. This might be the break that Bay needs. Score is 13-9 in the 5th set. Kaler to serve. Right now, the pressure in here is unbelievable. Kaler sends a nice serve over. Zip passes it to the middle. Alpena tries to hit it from the right side, and it makes contact with the block. That is going to go back to Alpena. Score is 14-9. We are looking at set point, match point. Alpena leads 14-9. Serve is good. Kaler sets up for Tadish. She gets it through the block. Alpena dives for it. They almost make contact with the pole. They send a little hit of their own from the middle. And Bays sets it up. Rudder off the block. Zip gets underneath it. Here comes Alpena again from the far side. They go to the corner, and it is out of bounds. Not a single Bay player touched it as they dove for it. They are going to get it back. Rexford is going to come in to serve. This is clutch. Can Bay do it? We've seen a run from them already. Rexford gets this one over cleanly. Alpena sets this one up for a middle hit. It comes off the block of Tadish and lands on Bay's side. That is going to be game, set, point. So the score is 15-10 in the 5th set. Alpena is going to take this match home. So Bay is going to take a loss on their first home game of the season. A little bit of a bummer, but they have a chance for redemption tonight as they play again at 5 o'clock. So we are going to step away as I take a look over my notes. And so we're going to take a step away for 3 minutes. We will be right back. I'm Grace Harlow for the Radio Results Network. Thank you. Welcome back, Bay Volleyball fans. I'm Grace Harlow for the Radio Results Network. We are here after a long 5 sets between Bay College and Alpena Community College at the first ever home volleyball game for Bay. So the score was 23-25, 26-24, 22-25, 25-21, 10-15, with Alpena taking the whole thing. And I didn't have enough time to quite get all of my stats in order here, but Riley Johnson took the lead for Bay on kills. She did a great job. There was some really good placement on her part, some really good angles. She was always looking for that opportunity to make the point, and make the point she did. Some of those hits were just pure power. Leah Allen also had a few kills under her belt. She made some notable back row hits. She also made some really nice hits from the right side. And we need to talk about the blocking game for a second, because going into this game, I knew that the blocking game was going to be pretty good. You know, looking at their stats, they were ranked really high in the conference. Granted, several teams haven't played yet, so it's not a full stat yet. But they were doing really well against all of the teams that have played so far in the conference. And the blocks that we saw, Johnson was just up there, and Tadish too. She took advantage of just stopping anything that came her way. Kaylor also did a really good job up at the net. So overall, I mean, I think, you know, despite it being a loss, Bay should be really proud of what they're doing here. Their program is looking very good. Right now, I would say the thing that they're probably battling a little bit with is just battling with themselves. It's a lot of pressure being at your first home game, especially for the first season ever for a program. I mean, everybody's watching you. So they did really, really well. I'm sure coach is going to probably make a few adjustments. There are a couple of matchups, though, that I really, really like. I really enjoy seeing Yount and Rexford work together. They work together perfectly. They're always on the same page. Anytime Yount would go for the ball, Rexford was right behind her, just ready to back her up. And looking at it, I mean, there's so many digs between Yount and Rexford. I mean, Rexford, she surpassed Yount in a couple of the sets when it came to how many digs she had. So incredible defensive play. Leah Allen also had a lot of digs for the team. So that was all very, very good today. And then as for serving, the serving game, there were a few errors here and there, but nothing too crazy. And Rexford had a real solid serving game. So did... Sorry, looking at my paper here. So did Paquin. She had a really, really solid serving game. Not too many service aces here. We're looking at 1, 2, only 2 service aces through the game, but her serves were solid and consistent. So good job by the Lady Norse here in their first game. We're going to get back to our regular programming. There is another game, though, that's happening at 5, so make sure you come on down to the gym, because this crowd was electric. This is such a good crowd to have. They were super energetic, so make your way down here to Bay. Come see the next game, because this is something you just don't want to miss. I'm Grace Harlow for the Radio Results Network. I'm going to step aside. This has been Bay College Volleyball. Have a good night. Okay, can you send me, Crystal's number so I have her number, because I don't have her contact. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. You did awesome. All right. Have a good one.